Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. If you want to see if some entity or some person is really, having values and principles, you put that person in a difficulty, and people under pressure will get rid of values and principles sooner or later. The problem is how soon before someone just gets rid of those kind of values, and therefore you're going to find out if that person is serious about those values and principles, or is just right. You can observe this. I saw this at least in my professional life. When everything was good in a company or in a department, everybody was friends, everybody was cool, everybody was nice and all that. Once the situation became a little bit, squeaky here and there and not really okay, then the fight between the management and the subordinates started to be seen very, very rude and aggressively. And that was the reality, actually. So a person who can keep his head under pressure, that person, has qualities. The other ones immediately drop everything and go take their toys and go home because they don't like the game anymore, instead of standing over there and trying to solve the problem, and instead of just blaming everybody else and not solving the problem that way. In this case, we have the European Union, and European Union somehow decided that it has the authority to freeze another country that is not part of the European Union, freeze the country's assets. And I'm talking about the European Union and Russia, obviously. And as it is with freezing assets, as bad as that is, now the Europeans, as a bully, and you know how bullies do, they ask you for something first, something small, and if you don't react, then they ask for something more than that, more valuable, and then more and more and more, until they ask for, your life. And by the time you get there, they got all kind of other stuff. So that's why with the bully, you have to smack him in quickly, and you risk being beaten, you risk being scarred, but you're gonna cause some damage to the bully. And the bully doesn't like to get scratched or kicked in the balls or anything like that, even if the bully wins in the end. Next time he's not going to ask you for something because he doesn't want to go through that again. Bullies are bullies because they don't want to, they want something through intimidation, not through effort. The effort is intimidation, not physical. Therefore, you have to stop them from the very attempt. In this case, I think that European Union imposed this kind of tactic of freezing someone else's money or properties, assets. It's like you have a problem with your neighbor, and all of a sudden, the bank doesn't give you the money back. You are not convicted on anything in front of a court of law, but somehow the bank considers that they should freeze your assets. Based on what? What authority do you have? That's my money that I was keeping over there. I should be able to come and take it back. And don't tell me because I have a scuffle with a neighbor. What do you have to do with a neighbor? Is the neighbor, is the bank? Did I attack your bank? Did I do anything with your bank? No, so shut up. All right? But it doesn't work that way. And then, moreover than that, if you don't react to the bank freezing your assets, the next thing you're going to find out that they're going to give your money to the neighbor. Then what? But are you going to do anything or not? Again, the bank has no authority to do that. The same, the European Union, under what kind of authority they have? Because they placed sanctions? I mean, like that I can place sanctions on my neighbor and go and get his car? Because I placed sanctions because he gave me a look or something, or his dog pooped in my yard? Is that, and I placed sanctions, and based on this sanctions that I imposed, I'm going to go and get his wife, if he's good looking, okay? Just kidding. Anyway, a car or something. They say, a car is the same with the wife. Just kidding, okay? Jesus Christ, why so serious, son? All right, This article comes from Russia Today. February 17th, 2023. Moscow warns EU, European Union, over seized assets. Russia will respond in kind if its funds are given to Ukraine, the foreign ministry said. Maria Zakharova, very intelligent woman. Any Western attempts to transfer seized Russian assets to Ukraine would be, and I'm quoting, barbarism. Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova has claimed, if necessary, Moscow is ready to impose a tit-for-tat response, she added. Speaking at a press briefing on Friday, Zakharova noted that EU nations have invested heavily in Russia, meaning a significant amount of European-owned assets remain in the country. Their value is larger than that of the Russian assets seized by foreign nations, the spokeswoman argued. Zakharova insisted that Russia wants to operate within the law and would give the US and its allies, and I'm quoting, every last chance, unquote, to reconsider any plans to confiscate Russian property. However, she added that Moscow was fully prepared to defend its interests, including through the use of, and I'm quoting, equal compensatory measures. End quote. The remarks refer to a new EU working group established to explore ways to make Russia fund the further reconstruction of Ukraine. And I'm quoting, this must be done in accordance with EU and international law, and there is currently no direct mode for this, Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson said, commenting on the new group. Stockholm currently holds the rotating presidency of the EU Council. Western nations have frozen hundreds of billions of dollars worth of Russian sovereign reserves, as well the assets of Russians whom they consider close to the government. Moscow has branded the measures as an act of robbery. Zakharova stressed that property rights should not be subject to the whims and geopolitical needs of a handful of nations, adding that US foreign policy was often prone to wild swings. She claimed that a case in point is Venezuela, where Washington previously referred to Juan Guaido as a legitimate leader with the right to manage the nation's wealth. And I'm quoting, now Western delegations visit Maduro, who we always considered the legitimate president, as if nothing happened, end quote, Zakharova said. So everything they say about Russia, their accusations, threats, and blackmail, oh my God, Zakharova, did you hear me talk like that? Can flip-flop in a moment, mark my words. Don't I say that these guys function using threats, blackmail, regime change, and bombardments or direct military intervention? So she's got the first two rights, threats and blackmail. Okay, thank you. The spokeswoman warned that the international community should oppose the push for the appropriation of Russian property. Countries could otherwise find themselves on the receiving end of the, and I'm quoting, ostensibly impartial Western-controlled financial system, Zakharova cautioned. I think a surprising decision was made by Switzerland that decided that they cannot use the frozen Russian assets to send it to Ukraine. Their constitution does not allow that. But they said, if we change the constitution, then we can do it. You see, that's changing the rules in the middle of the game. And I always give you this analogy. If you play Monopoly, the little board game, and you always have a infantile at the table who doesn't like to play. Not that it's a pleasure to play, but you play for fun, and there's the risk of losing. And when you lose, you're not gonna try to throw a tantrum over there and change the rules and create a scene. Otherwise, don't play, because you poop in everybody else's pleasure of playing the game. But some people are like that, and they did not pass the toddler level of cognitive development. That's a reality. They don't even know how to react and interact with friends. They're still there. So anyway, I met a few like this in my life, and I'm pretty sure you met them too. And what did they do? They start yelling, and they try to change the rules to fit their interest at that particular situation. And then if the situation arises again for someone else who can take advantage of the new made rule by Gigi, Gigi will oppose it. Why? Because now the rule runs against it and someone else is going to benefit. So with these people, you just do like this, or you send them back and wherever. You don't do... It's not worth it dealing with this kind of people. Why? Because if they put so much stupidity in a board game, imagine when you do something serious with this guy. Like let's say you get in a business association or something, or you go in a mountainside and things go over there in a certain extreme, or I don't know, you walk down the street and some people attack you. This guy is gonna drop you at just a drop of a hat, boom, just like that. But anyway, it's not about that. It's about that was Switzerland. They said, oh, we can change the constitution to fit now this. In this case, as I said at the beginning of this video, with me and the neighbor and the bank or whomever, I don't think, but the Russians must, for their own benefit, they should understand that those guys are serious, really serious. This is what happens, for instance, in this society here. Some people think that the equity thing is kind of like a joke. No, that's serious, and all these things. They think, oh, it's just okay, No, the guys who try to promote the equity thing, they're serious from here to there, and that's yours if you are on the certain kind of position or belong to a certain kind of, if you know what I mean. But they think, oh, it's okay. No, they're serious. And this is just the first step. The next one, as the bullies, is not going to be equity. It's going to be something else that you didn't do, but you have to pay for. And they're going to invent all kind of past pains and violin, you know what I mean. So violin, you know what I mean. Okay, anyway, so if the Europeans do that, the Russians will do that too. I guarantee you that. Why? Because the Russians, good or bad, they are consistent. As I always say, if they promise to punch you in the face, they will punch you in the face. If they promise to give you $1, they will give you $1. So, good or bad. So I hope the Europeans will not follow through with that, but I think they will. They will, you know why? Because they say, well, it's the government. It's bigger than those corporations who invested there. I really don't care if the corporations get hurt. Look what they did with gas and oil. If you deplete a country of available cheap gas and oil just because those guys told you so, and you destroy economies and industries, look how angry Olaf Scholz and Emmanuel Macron was with United States with that little inflation something act. Remember? They were, because the industries from certain industries from France and Germany thought of leaving and relocating to the United States of America. That means depleting their countries of industry, taxes, jobs, employment. This is a colony. Europe is a colony of those guys, of Zimbabwe from across Atlantic. That's how it is, a colony. I say vassal state, we can call it that way, but it looks more like my territory, I come and go wherever. It's not a vassal state, because a vassal state is not a colony. A colony belongs to you, and you do whatever you want over there, and supposedly you got someone in charge to manage your things, but actually it's you, and good luck with that. Good luck with that. I foresee the Europeans crossing that line, and I also guarantee you that the Russians will punch them back. Tit for tat. Tit for, I don't know what that would be. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.